Welcome to Secure Retail POS Systems webinar. So glad that you could join us today. We're excited about going over our wonderful product. So here's our agenda for the next 30 minutes. Introduction to Secure Retail POS Systems, who we are, why Goodwill chooses Secure Retail POS Systems, and then we'll just go through an overview of S-Tags tagging software, some POS transactions and balance of cashier, file maintenance, and some standard reporting, and then dive into business analytics. Hello, my name is Gary Perry, and I'll be presenting today along with Andrew Perry. I've spent the past 20 years marketing to the thrift market. Andrew's been doing it for the past 6 years. Well, who is Secure Retail POS Systems? Well, we've had 20 years of thrift store technology experience, over 1,000 installs, and those installs are supported by 18 support staff. And we have support right across North America time zones and offices in the US and in Canada. Why does Goodwill choose Secure Retail POS? We market to the thrift store industry only. We don't share our resources with any other industry but thrift. Our support staff have a tremendous amount of experience in thrift and can answer most of your questions or have the resources to get your answers. Equally important is the ongoing development is for the thrift industries. All of the money, all of the resources that we put in developing this product goes to your industry. It's a complete, one-of-a-kind, front-to-back product tracking from the donation to the front and all the touches between. Our barcode system was designed to be easy and fast with the least amount of keystrokes for each one-of-a-kind item. This system will not slow down your processes. Another big reason why people like us so well is that we produce reports that make sense to the thrift industry. We take it a step further by creating your existing reports that are probably currently manually entered into Excel spreadsheets. Secure Retail provides a turnkey solution, a world-class thrift point-of-sale software, outlet by the pound point-of-sale software, loyalty and gift cards, accounting interface, thrift backroom processing software with barcode tagging, of course, multi-store software with host services available, a full suite of dashboards and reports with KPIs that are designed for thrift. We also interface to multiple third-party programs that pertain to the thrift industry, including Visa. With over 1,000 installs, our project management team are well seasoned, from implementation to on-site installation, training and support after the fact for 24 hours, 7 days a week. When we say complete turnkey solution, we mean hardware as well. POS and tag terminals, barcode printers, line busters, tablets, power carts for mobility, server or server hosting services, including all paper supplies. Here's a few of the Goodwills that we currently have. We've got about 120 Goodwill locations. Several of these Goodwills created some challenges going from POS systems with loyalty programs and gift cards and such to our system, as well as people that are going from electronic cash register and making the leap to the POS. I have to say that Secure Retail took on these challenges, took ownership of these challenges, and made a trouble-free installation. So today we're going to basically give you a demonstration that where you take the product all the way from donations, all the way through the store, all the touch points throughout the store, including the retail sales floor, rag offs, the point of sale, and of course, who buys those products. So we'll start with the backroom tagging.
We recommend pre-sorting the racks because it makes it easier on the processing side of things.
Okay, S-Tag software. Pricer would enter in their sign-on code. This allows management to track all of her production or his production as well as their sales. Select the color of the week. This allows management to track production by color and sales by color, and run promotions like automatic color rotation discounts. So we're going to try to cover all the different pricing strategies in this demo quickly. So first of all, we'll do single point pricing. So that's a rack of ladies slacks. Select the price or assume the price, count how many slacks, enter in 55 and hit print. Then on that same rack, you're going to select capris, count how many capris you have, enter in the quantity and hit print. That rack has now been priced, ready to go on to the next stage of the process. Now, what if you want to have sizes on each of the tags? So we'll go through the same scenario. The rack is brought up. You select slacks and skirts. Now it's asking for the size. So I simply look at the garment, see what the size is, select medium. Look at the next garment, see what the size is, select large. And I continue on until the rack is finished. This entire rack is done with one key depression for each item. Next, let's look at hard goods. In hard goods, single point pricing is not common. Mostly it is multi-pricing. So for example, if I select wares and I just hit miscellaneous, you can see all of the different prices that are available. If I wanted to, I could fill this full screen full of pricing, but we don't recommend that. Management will decide here are the 4 or 5 price points or 8 price points. Select the price and hit print. Now, let's go to another type of pricing, which is multi-price points per women's dresses, etc. So for example, we'll select ladies. Let's use ladies blouses. In this scenario, I would select the size. The pricing shows basic, good, better, and best. This allows the pricer to determine the quality of the product, select that quality, and management determines that when they select better, ladies' blouses and shirts should be $6.95. Of course, then they hit print, go to the next garment, select the size, and continue.
Now, this is also great for training purposes, as if management decides to change any of those prices, nothing changes with the tagging process.
So it makes price changing a lot easier, right? Common feature of S tags is warehouse distribution and tagging. I would hit the drop down menu, select tagging for store. I'm tagging for store number 3 and I hit accept. Everything that is being tagged is clearly indicated that the tagging is being done for store number 3. All of the information and production, it flows through to the store so the store manager knows what's coming. People want to keep track of credential, or we call them vendors. So if you're buying credential, the system allows you to keep track of everything that was on that particular truck. So I would select the vendor and I assign a lot number to that. I select the lot number and I hit accept. Now, everything I tagged will report to that vendor number 103. When I say report, it reports all of the yield that I get from that trailer, as well as what actually sells.
Some other people use it for things such as donation drives, Boy Scout drives, or even clothing bins to track what items and quality of items are coming through from specific areas.
Rag-offs, pulls, how's that handled with our system? We have a thumb scanner that allows the operator, when they go out to the store, to scan every product that they're throwing in the cart or taking off the shelf. Once they're finished, the operator would come back with that thumb scanner, select rag off, open rag off screen, and at this point they plug in the scanner and hit import batch. Importing the batch, you would see all of the items populate here, and you would process those batches for reporting. Inventory will be adjusted accordingly, and you'll have a detailed report on your progress. Another feature that is critical to successful and accurate reporting is if a mistake is done, you can correct them easily and quickly. Using that same thumb scanner, if I accidentally printed 10 tags, I would simply scan those 10 tags, import them in here, and then process them, and that would correct my inventory as well. Management can prevent mistakes by putting a limit on quantity and a limit on dollar amounts per item. In addition to that, the tag terminal can have up to 2 printers hooked up to it. What printer prints is determined by what the operator selects. If they select a garment, the system knows to print a hang tag. If they select a hard good, the system knows to print a sticky tag, eliminating misprints. Hi, now we're going to go through the point of sale and just process a couple of sales to see how quick you can process customers. So for example, a cashier would start her shift by putting in a password number as well as secret sign-on number as well. What they like about this system, if being a cashier, is they simply take the products and scan all of the items through. And any items that should be discountable because of your color rotation or manager promotions will happen automatically. They don't have to remember to hit the discount under red tags, that sort of thing. So for this reason alone, cashiers really love the system. Now, when I hit subtotal, it prompts the cashier to go to the next stage. So in this particular case, cashier is asking the customer if they'd like to round up. The customer says yes. You just simply hit one button. The total is $54. If the customer hands them a $100 bill, you simply hit this button up here. Rather than enter in the wrong amount, you have the full change displayed for the cashier to give back to the customer. If the item doesn't have a barcode, but you still want to keep track of those items, we have what's called flip charts. So for example, if it's CDs or cassettes, you have so many you don't want a barcode, you simply hit music, select CDs, hit the flip chart again, music, select cassettes. Now, if they bought 25 CDs, I'd simply depress this with my finger, CDs, enter 25 in quantity. Same as cassettes, and I'll enter 20 quantity. Subtotal. Sale comes to $59.75. Customer says, I'd like to round up to $61. So the cashier simply enters in $61 and hits manual roundup. And again, they can simply depress the $100 bill to finalize that transaction. Now in some cases, a product may come to the cashier that doesn't have a barcode and is not on the flip chart, but it has a price tag on it. In this particular case, you simply just enter in the price, hit women's, enter in the next price of the item, hit children's. Again, subtotal to finalize the sale, no roundup this time, and again, at this point, they can take a debit card, credit card transaction, one simple keystroke. If the customer in this case gives you a $50 bill, you simply depress the $50 bill. Now we're going to show you some other features of the point of sale system. One of the things that the cashiers like about the system, besides not having to remember everything and the speed to which they put customers through, is if they make mistakes, it's not a real big deal. They can see how easy it is to correct mistakes. So for example, they hit subtotal and the customer decides, you know what, I don't want that lady's jacket. Simply depress lady's jacket on the screen and hit the button that says remove item. Likewise, if I want to take just the discount off pants, I can take the discount off. Once the cashiers see how easy it is to correct mistakes, they're very comfortable with the system. If the cashier gets completely confused and wants to start over, they can simply hit cancel sale, and basically start the transaction over. Subtotal, round up, and enter the amount the customer gives you, say $27, and hit the cash button. Very simple. Just another convenient feature for cashiers is the hold and recall capability. If you're in a situation where the cashier or the customer gets to the end of the sale and forgets his wallet or whatever the case, they can simply hit the hold recall. That'll issue a receipt for the customer, and the customer can bring that receipt back, scan it, and it'll recall their transaction. Let me just show you. In the meantime, they can ring in another customer, hit subtotal, no roundup, finalize. And when that other customer comes, you simply scan the card or scan the receipt, and the previous transaction comes back up on the screen. They can even add to the sale at this stage. Subtotal, no roundup, $50 bill. Any function on the entire point of sale system can be put under management control. A manager would arrive at the till, scan their card across the scanner, and allow them to get into the manager mode. Things like putting the transaction in training mode simply by hitting training. Now, everything that's happening in training mode, every function can function in training mode, but will not affect your sales. Turn that off, a manager would sign on, hit training, and away you go. Refunds. How do I do a refund? Very simple. Again, it's a management function on this system. You simply hit the refund button, scan the item, and then if the customer decides to buy something else, you can also do that. Ladies' jackets. Subtotal, round up, and select how it was being paid, a $5 bill. And almost everything seems to be a single key depression. We try to get everything to be a single key depression. Less mistakes, and again, the cashier is much faster. A lot of people ask us, how's the balancing happen with our point of sale system? We have several different ways. For example, cashier starts her shift, a manager would sign in and hit start a shift, and that would provide her with a $100 float. Very simple. And the end of day, the manager would sign in and depress start deposit. This screen allows the cashier to count the media in her drawer and just simply input 22 pennies, 66 nickels, 9 $2 bills, 5 rolls of dimes, so on and so forth. It's pretty straightforward. And on the side, it's giving them a subtotal or giving them an idea of what's been entered in. So if they make a mistake, for example, and they enter in the wrong amount, they can simply, again, just depress this, hit remove items, and then do it properly. All right? Now, when they're finished, they simply depress finish deposit. That'll kick out a receipt so they have a physical printout of what is in their cash drawer. The manager can take a report right here at the point of sale or take a report in the back room. This is the display of what the customer sees. So they can see every single item that they're purchased, all their discounts are being applied properly. On the right-hand side, there's an advertising part of the screen that can advertise whatever you like. So many different messages can be triggered to display, including videos. Okay, I want to quickly show you a cashier report of our particular cashier that we're using for our demo. Simply select Reports, select Cashier Sales Report, and hit Preview. Select today's date and hit Preview. This report basically is showing you the net sales that were entered in, total sales with donations, cash, what was loaned at the beginning of their shift, what was declared in their cash drawer, and what their shortage. I know this doesn't make any sense, but you can understand it's kind of like blind balancing. The cashier doesn't know whether they're over and short until they take this report. In reporting, there are hundreds of different types of canned type reports for cashier day-to-day management reporting. LBOS, the back end, has various options available. Maintenance to allow you to do things like item maintenance, add operators, create batch for promotions, add a new sub-department, add customers, add new vendors, add different categories. Inventory, the system has a full inventory suite. So we just drag this down. So you can do purchase orders if you're selling new goods. You can do inventory counts. You can receive from the orders. You can make adjustment to your inventory, or you can transfer inventory from one store to the other store or to the warehouse. And you can receive transfers from the warehouse. Tasks. The task feature allows you to do things that may be daily routines to be done automatically on a certain time. You have a view log of all the transactions happening in this back room. So you'd be able to see any keystrokes that happen on the LBOS software. So who changed the price, for example. And of course, Tracker is often used when you're trying to do balancing. You get to see every single transaction for the entire day. And you have search capabilities. For example, I can say, show me all of the transactions that have cash. Spelling it correctly is always a good plan. So it goes through all of the transactions, and I can see all my cash transactions. Likewise, I can use that for debit card or credit card transactions. If I'm looking for a specific credit card, I can put in all sorts of criteria to find that quicker. And that's a back room in a nutshell. Secure Retail's Report Suite is the foremost data analytic platform for thrift retail. Using Power BI, several reports are created by Secure, and with the help of Secure Retail support staff, many customers create their own reports and dashboards, not only importing data from Secure's POS data, but from other databases like accounting, timekeeping, payroll, budgets, production targets, and more. Here's just one of the dashboards. This interactive dashboard allows you to select the date. In this case, we're doing December 1st to December 31st, 2019. We select the stores. And it also gives you running totals, today's sales, month-to-date sales, and year-to-date sales. This part of the screen is showing sales, production, and sell-through percentages. And over to your right is your individual pricer production information. Across the bottom, you're looking at every single day's sales for the entire month of December. For example, women's shows the total sales, total quantity sold, and what the average sale was. Also shows production in that same time frame, what the number of pieces, as well as what the average is. If you scroll over to the left, you'll see the sell-through percentage based on dollars and the sell-through percentage based on quantity. Get a further breakdown, you can simply hit the women's, and that will break it down into the different categories within women's. To take it a step further, it'll break it down into dresses, for example. And you'll see all of the different price points, $7, $8, $10, $12, what their sales of those $7 items, what their production is, and again, what their sell-through is by that. This is great for determining how your pricing strategy is working out. Other interactivity of the dashboard is to simply take a look at pricer number 5 and select that particular pricer. When doing that, all of the totals change and show the sales, production information for that pricer only. And you still have the same drill down capability right down to the price points to get better pricer evaluation. Also, across the bottom, you're looking at all of the sales of that pricer only throughout the month. If you're just interested in today's sales, I simply hit the day down here at the bottom, and everything changes to show you what's happening so far today, what my total production was, what my total net sales were, so on and so forth. This report tracks your color rotation discount structure and how it affects sales. This report is very similar to the other report, with the exception of the color-coded bars indicate how much product was sold at regular price. How much was sold in Super Saturdays? Yellow tag 50% off. And purple tag 50% off. Discounts are tracked by sub-department, category, or right down to the price point. A good example would be what percentage of women's dresses priced at $7.95 is sold at the regular price. Here are other sales that was created by our existing customers. For example, they're looking at each individual store here, as well as each individual week. So they're looking at week 5 sales this year versus sales last year. And the next report is transactions this year versus last year. And the next report shows item count this year versus last year. And this report is strictly a financial report, breaking it down into the various types of tenders, donations, etc. Budgets also can be imported in from your accounting packages or other databases. Sales this year versus last year. Average sale versus this year versus last year. Sales budgets, targets, all of this type of information. And this is just a handful of the information. This report shows average production by department and by store. Sample of all of these reports are on our virtual booth for you to download. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go through these reports in great detail. Half an hour just doesn't allow us to do this. But the interactive dashboards really increases the efficiencies, faster access to business intelligence to all of your people within your organization, better decision making, improved focus, alignment to gain competitive advantage, flexibility for business growth. Be mobile, so take your information with you on tablets, cell phones, so on. Enhance collaborative communications, total visibility into your business, improved results, and increased profit. The long and the short of it is you increase efficiency by analyzing your pricing strategy and making sure that every product that goes out on the floor is an effective price and it actually sells. So you can make better decisions because the information is confirming your thoughts. Where Secure Retail differs from other point-of-sale companies is that Secure staff will spend the time with your various departments like store operations, accounting, upper management to develop the reports for you that are often being created manually by these departments in Excel or other programs. Having all of this reporting on one platform allows you to share it with all levels of management. If you like what you have seen today, I'd recommend a full online demonstration of our solution. There was so much more to see. Gather all your team so we can answer questions and concerns that they may have. You can contact us at sales@secureretail.ca or call 1-888-927-2399 extension 402.